part 2. We have so many people that love you that we needed to make a second part to your birthday video. So I am gonna kick it off, and I have had the privilege of making this video, which means I get to hear what everyone else says. Several people have mentioned that they have never seen you upset. They have never been with you when you really have to poop and you are stuck on a Pittsburgh highway. They have also never had you trying to help them with their math homework and you screaming, RTB, read the book. But we love you, Dad, and there are so many great memories that come to mind when I think about you. Those are just 2 funny ones. One of the first things that comes to mind when I think about your generosity and just how you make everything better is when my flight got canceled coming back from a mission trip in Benin, and everyone was trying to find their kind of own way home. And I was like, if I can just get close to my dad, I know that I'll be taken care of. And so I wanted the flight into Philly because I figured that was as close to you as I could get, and you would help me to make it home. And sure enough, you did. I got off the plane, there was a car waiting to drive me back to Brooklyn. And that just is one example of your generosity towards us and how you will go above and beyond to help us. I also learned humility from you. You never cared that your car was like crazy junky when we were growing up. And I know you had enough money to get a nicer car, but you drove this car and were like proud of it. Like, you had to pop the hood every single time you wanted to start it. There was duct tape holding certain parts of it together, but you didn't care. Like, you've never been into status or status symbols, and I've definitely learned that from you, and I'm so appreciative. You are not one to just keep your knowledge to yourself. You came to my school multiple times, one time with lots of Lehigh garb for the kids, another time with magic tricks and Chick-fil-A, and you just like to spread what you know and your joy and your hobbies with those around you, and even people that you don't know. Like, you didn't know any of my students, and yet you came and were generous to them, and I so appreciate that about you. I also got my love of photography from you. I always think of you just on our vacations running down the road like a paparazzi trying to get these like candid walking pictures, and now these like off-guard pictures are so popular with the young kids, and I feel like you made off-guard pictures or candid pictures cool way before they were like a thing. You are super adventurous, and I feel like I've gotten my adventurous side from you, although sometimes it's gone a little sideways. Like the time you thought it would be a good idea for us to get in the water. I was like 10 years old, Lauren was like 8 or something like that. Get in the water during a feeding frenzy with fish in Bermuda. And I remember I got so scared when we were in there that I was swimming around like this and like crunching my toes up because I didn't want the fish to think that my fingers were food and like bite me. You're also always trying to learn more. Like, you read whole books in a single flight. Like, how are you that fast of a reader? It's insane. You do everything fast and everything well. You are the best bop ever. Like, I literally get ideas of how to be a better parent by watching you with Olivia and with her cousins. You are just magnetic and they want to be with you, and you are grandparent extraordinaire. You're just insanely entertaining and loving towards them. I am so happy that I have your genes, and not like your physical genes, because Alex probably has those, but your genetics. And I hope that I have just gleaned from you, being raised by you. I feel like it's such a privilege, and I'm so glad that God chose for you to be my dad. I feel like you make everyone around you better, and you have this amazingness that just being around you, you can sort of glean from it. But not only that, but like your genetics are inside me, and so I get to pass that on to future generations, and I just feel really blessed by that because you are an extraordinary human being, an amazing dad, and I love you so much, and I hope you have the best 60th birthday ever.
What do I think of when I think of Speed? I think of Speed as one of the elite climbers in the IS Peloton who can't stand the cold. So Speed, here's to spring coming soon. Happy 60th birthday. Go get 'em, Speed Racer.
Tim Boutry, welcome to the 60 Club. It's an awesome, fantastic club to be a member of. I joined the club 2 months ago myself. Has some phenomenal benefits. At CVS you get 50% off Advil, Bengay, and surprisingly Diet Coke. Who figured? I don't know why they do that. Happy birthday. I asked myself the question, what's Tim Boutry like? I think of three things when I think of Tim. He's an absolutely phenomenal athlete. He's super, super smart. And he's just a really nice, sociable, kind human being. So a few things about those three attributes about Tim. Yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete, and you'll probably know by now that we have nicknames for IS Biking Club members. His nickname is Speed Racer, and it's extremely appropriate because he's just extremely fast. He's a phenomenal climber, and he can just crank on straight flats for miles and miles and miles. I'm probably one of the few IS bikers who've worked with Tim technically at Lucent. He's just solved some extremely difficult problems at Lucent, and those problems only got 10 to 100 times harder at Infinera, and these guys are cranking away and making like crazy physics-based communication systems, which is cool. On the personal side, you're very, very kind on the biking mornings when some of us like me have tough days. You're just there to support us, and really enjoyed our dinners with you and Kay. I'm thinking of a couple of stories. It's pretty often the case that we'll be going up a pretty steep, long climb, and Tim, who's phenomenal at climbing, that's like not much work for him, he'll be serpentining in front of us telling jokes. And that's kind of neat and kind of fun, but it's pretty obvious that he's way better of an athlete than we are. He's telling a joke and we're just trying to get oxygen into our system. Another interesting story, back when we were training for the Toll in 2010, I was trying to get in better shape, and we were about to go up Schlossberg Hill, and I said, hey Tim, I'd like to get a personal best on this. And he says, I'll help you, I'll lead you up the climb. So he knew enough to not be right in front of me, so help get the wind out of the way would make it too easy for me. So then again, he's 20-30 feet in front of me, serpentining the whole way up Schlossberg climb. Sure enough, I broke my personal record that day, mostly due to Tim's encouragement getting me up the hill. Enjoy your birthday, Tim. Have a great day, and enjoy your family.
Hey Tim, I hope you're having a good day. Hey, just coming back from a ride with the guys. You may also notice I've got my Alpe d'Huez jersey on, and that's because some of the best memories that I have bicycling have come from not only being out on the road around here, but especially the trip we took with a bunch of our friends over to France. And so I just wanted to relay that for me was a lifetime memory, something I'm going to take with me hopefully forever, and you were a big part of that, and I just wanted you to know that. I really appreciate it. Hey Tim, I think you may have noticed I made a small change in my garb here, because I think we may share a certain common bond in the sense that we both appreciate a certain patriotism and are happy to share that with the group. And one of the early memories I have riding with the ISers and with you was a ride that we did that we called the Freedom Ride back in 2011, so in the early days. And it's a memory of mine that I'll also cherish forever, because it blends together patriotism along with my favorite pastime, which is riding a bike. Just getting back to the house now from my ride today. As you can see, I've changed my garb again, and this time I want to pay tribute to our alma mater, Lehigh University, and also introduce some of the family who have something special they want to say. And this is Callie.
Did you just say he's a Lehigh alum?
Yeah, I did. This is McKay.
Hi, Jim.
It's Tim.
Happy anniversary, Tim.
It's his birthday.
Oh, this hasn't gone very well.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy 60th birthday, and many more.
I'm really glad to have this opportunity to say how great it's been to work with Tim, not only over the past many years, starting way back at Bell Labs, but now to work under his leadership at Infinera for the past 13 years. They say that the single most important factor in job satisfaction is who your immediate boss is. And I am very fortunate to have worked under Tim for these many years. Words that come to mind when I think of Tim are his honesty and his integrity based on biblical principles. He cares very much about the people, not only in his own team, but those he works with. He's sincere in telling us that work will always be there, so when something comes up with our family, that's the most important thing. He has a very positive attitude, and I remember one time when things were going bad in California when the team over there really screwed up, and I made some side comment, and he said, hey, you know, one day it's going to be our turn. So that kind of exemplifies the attitude he has about working together. And of course, he has a super sense of humor. Who can deny that? And the ability to have fun even in the midst of really tough times. One time, it happened that I walked into Drexel and Mike Ruffle was having a staff meeting that was ending. And they were all lamenting about, well, what are we going to do for Take Your Kids to Work Day? And I said, hey, let's have a liquid nitrogen time. And you know, everybody, Mike's like, no way, that's way too dangerous. But I convinced them that we should do it. And of course, Tim couldn't do it just as our plain old selves. No, we had to be mad scientists. And of course, whose idea was that? Tim's. Who had the best card tricks of anybody? You know, Tim. Who's the first in the dunk tank? Tim. Who's the guy you call when you have to make balloon animals? Tim. And who gives senior citizens rides in the three-wheel buggy dressed in a t-shirt that looks like a tuxedo? It's only Tim. You should have seen Mike Ruffle smashing tomatoes dressed like this. That was Tim's idea too. So happy birthday, Tim, and keep loving life.
Hey, Uncle Tim. Just wanted to say it's been a privilege to know you. Wish you a happy 60th birthday. Between bike rides, my IT guy, and early days as a woodpecker, you've always been a lot of fun and a good friend. Happy 60th birthday.
Ahoy, matey! I'm taking a break from my winter training to wish you a happy 60th birthday. Shiver me timbers! You must have found the fountain of youth on one of your junkets to California. Well, have a happy day, and we'll talk like this again on September 19th. Now, back to work.
The following is an Epic IS production by Quadzilla Scorsese.
Yo, Mikey! Did you know it's Speed Racer's 60th birthday? Yo, Mikey! I'm freaking parched!
Hey, Speed Racer, Quadzilla here. Happy birthday, you old man. You're now officially older than dirt. So as you can hear, we've got some wind here. And as you've always told us, Vinta Glider means nothing other than high wind. So, about ready to make a special video shout out to you on your special birthday, starring none other than the boys from Team IS.
Hey, Speed, to my fellow Lehigh alum, really enjoy riding with you, really enjoy being a friend of yours, and happy 60th birthday.
It's gotta be 10 plus degrees T out here. Where are you? It's your temperature to be riding. Go, Speed Racer. Go, Speed Racer, go!
Hey, my man. Too bad you're not here to tell us some jokes, some of your best. But I just want to say, car back! Happy birthday, my man.
Hey, Tim. Just wanted to say you might be 60, but you're riding like you're 30, buddy. Happy birthday. Hey, Tim. Too windy to talk. Happy birthday.
Speedo! You, my man, are officially a sexagenarian. Not sure what that means, but it sounds like you're gonna have a hell of a decade. Go, Speed Racer! Go, Speed Racer! Go, Speed Racer! Go! Yo, Mikey! Did you know it's Speed Racer's 60th birthday?
Pausing.
Mikey!
Woo!
I got a feeling. It's gonna
Back to my screen.
Yes, indeed. I have a feeling tonight's going to be a good night as well. I love you, brother. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy 60th birthday. How do we get there? Like, we can't be 60, but you do make 60 look so good. And I was thinking about how would I describe, what words would I use to describe my wonderful, amazing husband? Those are some words right there. But thinking back over those 40 years that I've been with you out of 60, I am just so grateful that I have gotten a front row seat to your life, because truly watching you grow, watching you thrive, watching you become the person that you are has been such a gift. Thank you for giving me that gift, the gift of being your wife and loved by you. I am so grateful. And I think one of the most wonderful things that you do is that you make others better just by being who you are, by loving them, by encouraging them, and mostly by showing up for them. You are a man, not of many words, which I think is a really good thing, but you are, a lot of times, you are a man of action. And your actions toward others make them feel loved and encouraged and better because you show up, and it's so important to show up. So thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for showing up for our daughters when something goes wrong, or they can't fix something, or they don't understand it, or they have questions about their finances, or even more importantly, they have babies and make us grandparents. And we babysit, and we show up separately, and we show up together, and that has just changed lives. I truly believe that showing up, when you showed up for Alex, I'm gonna cry, because when you showed up at his test and you came from home, that was a pivotal moment in his life. And thank you for showing up for our children. Thank you for showing up for our grandchildren. They dearly love you. They get so excited when you knock on the door or when you come, and you just bring life. You bring light to everything you do. I know it's the same at work. I don't get to witness it, but just knowing how many people showed up for your parents' funeral, like how many people love you, Tim, the effect that you have had on people is amazing. You have affected people for good more than anyone I know. And I just wish you the very best. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Happy birthday, sweetheart, and many, many more together. Love you.